Just as I start to make noise.
Well, you're here now, so that's what's important.
Yeah, I'm here.
We're always working one way or another.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like vacuuming and loud noise. So
That kind of
making
working.
noise.
That
Yeah.
kind of working. Oh, yeah.
How's Nikki?
Oh man, I'm good.
How did your event go?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, very well. Very well. Thanks for asking. Thank you for remembering. Awesome.
What kind of event was it?
Well, I'll put it the cat out of the hat, I guess. I'm actually launching my speaking event. So that's been very exciting.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, so I have a gig in Atlanta coming up in March, and then I have another one in India in August. That's a very big one, but that's a retreat one. Yeah, so I'm really rocking it, and I'm coming out. I'm coming out, baby. I'm coming out. It's time. Yeah, no, really, honestly, it's been a trip. And yesterday, I actually said to one of my colleagues that that it's been an overwhelming thing for me because it's taken me. When I say taking me in the sense of the program and going through all the magnetic minds and studies and things like that, I was very intrigued because I wanted the education, but to be able to really see myself now wanting to do what I'm choosing, it's been very encouraging. Yeah. My dogs are going to stop barking. I'm just going to put my
Well, that's great, Nikki.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a little quiet now. Gave them a treat. Yeah, no, it's like I said yesterday. I was sitting here and it just dropped in my spur, and I got like really overwhelmed. I'll just share with you the experience of just like being here and finally saying, "Wow, I was actually quite emotional about it." Yeah. Because it's been a long time coming, and yeah, so it's just like I just got like really emotional about it. I really had a good cry about it, if that makes sense, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was just like overwhelmed with joy, and it was like tears of joy. So it was just like I feel like in flow now. I feel like there's no resistance to that. I can just allow myself and give myself that permission. And it's been, yeah, very rewarding. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I must kick. Yeah, I have to kick off. Yeah, kick off. I love that. Let's go.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jessie. Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Len, Pascal, Jenny, Tia.
Morning.
So morning. So my word for the day is new beginnings. Yeah, new beginnings. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, that's my word for the day, new beginnings. And I would like to pass it to Pascal. What's your word for the day? And you share with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Good morning, everyone. Yeah. This morning I didn't know what was my word, and then so I'll put you in a little bit of a situation, an experience that it just happened. So imagine like you show up early to work, and then you're there like to do your truck check, which is take about like 15 minutes or so. And even like you ask the night before finishing your shift, oh, am I keeping the same truck or not? Or I'm going to be switching with someone, and they're like, no, you're keeping the same. So I was like, okay, sounds good. So get the truck ready, clean it up, to the way I like. And it's perfect, really. And so I'm taking off the yard, and I'm about like maybe like 5 minutes from the shop, and I get a call saying that like I got to switch truck. And I'm like, so I got charged. So my word is charge. And I had the choice of like putting all my energy towards it and like have maybe a bad day towards it, or like just kind of like, you know what, like they must have a good reason, like I asked them yesterday and whatnot. And they did, like the other guy doesn't have his license to drive the truck I was the other truck I was going to swap. So really, like they had a good reason. And yeah, so I choose to just focus my energy on having a good day and not be charged of that emotion that came up. I was kind of conscious about it, and I was just like, for a few moments, I was like, okay, let's take a few breaths and then let it go. And yeah, so that's my word. On that, I'd like to invite Jenny, please. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning, Pascal. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Nikki, for your new beginnings. Today is an interesting day. Some of you know my journey with my youngest, and she comes home from college last night and goes, Mom, this is amazing looking at life from this perspective. She goes, it's so much fun. Like she was talking to people, and this is the same kid that 6 months ago wouldn't leave the house. It's just insane how cool it is. But I offered her the book, Think and Grow Rich. I'm sorry, not Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, because she's going to be going, starting to reach out and be her authentic self and how to start conversations. And she's like, it's so fun being interested versus interesting, interested in others. So my word today is interested.
Beautiful. I love that.
And with that, I invite Lynn.
Thank you all for your contributions. Thank you, Jenny, for the welcome in. And I like that because mine rolls a little bit from the fun. My word today is spring. And from spring, I mean to bounce and dance and flow in whatever charge I'm in. Because when I am when I'm charged from a flow state, it amplifies my vibration to spring and bounce and dance and sing and all those things. And then when I'm in an oscillating or a stuck structure or charge, then when I get to remember to spring and bounce and dance, it takes me out of it and brings me to neutral and even best into flow. So that's where my spring comes from, my word, my creation, my truth. And I think that's us, is it, today? Nikki, on your new
Back
beginnings.
to Jesse. You have to invite Jesse.
Oh, Jesse, then spring in your charge. Just where you're being charged. Did Jesse give or where you're being charged? I'll pop
No,
it
I'm
back.
giving it now. Yeah. Not just celebrating that. It's celebrating the where you're being charged. That's what I heard in all of our check-ins today. Yeah. And it's like, okay, there's the charge. And it's like, oh, what do I choose when I'm charged?
Mhm.
So I
choose.
celebrate that. Yeah. And then it's power. So actually, probably my word is power. So I celebrate our power, taking it back, taking control of it, and aiming it.
Mm. You just gave me a real sense of power, internal power there, Jesse, when you said aiming it at my North Star, aiming that power. I really felt that charge. So thank you.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
Let's sit in that power for a little bit, and then or take us to that power, and let's see what we can do with it.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hmm.
Yeah, for me this morning, the power comes from my breath. And if you guys are willing, I'd like to take you on a little bit of a breath work journey. Only if you're willing.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
I'm conscious, Pascal, how breath work works on a full digestive system.
So take it easy. Yeah, sit comfortably the best you can. If you're driving, I don't recommend it, obviously. But let's take a big breath from our nose and really breathe the light from our root all the way up to our crown. And hold it to the top and think about what you're going to be releasing. So when you're releasing the breath, just release everything that doesn't serve you. At your own pace, take a big breath from your nose Pulse to the top. And then release. And really notice if there's any color that you'd like to breathe in. Mine is the color blue. So I bring the color all the way from like the base of my spine all the way up. And really like feel your body. Is there any tension? Anything you want to release? Try to be as comfortable as you can. And I'll let you breathe on your own term for a few more breaths. And notice maybe like your feet feel more heavy. You feel more grounded. And notice maybe like your breath become easier, fuller. You can take a big full breath. You can hold a lot longer to the top. And release really, really slow. And if you found any discomfort in your body, imagine that you have your nose just on top of that area and breathe through it. And notice that when you're breathing just on top of it, it starts to release. The tension starting to disappear. And let's take 3 more breaths all together. I'll guide it through it. Just hear the sound. And maybe you can release with a sigh.
Oh.
And one more time.
Oh.
And at your own pace, just come back to the room. Open your eyes and fill me in. How do you feel?
That was beautiful, Pascal. Thank you so much. It's wonderful. You know,
You're welcome.
having oxygen gives you energy, right? That's where our energy comes from our breath and oxygen. Oh my God. My color was yellow. I chose yellow. Yellow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Like
And I just, yeah. And I feel, it was wonderful because, just to release everything that's not serving us for our highest good, in this situation, in this time, was a lovely letting go. So thank you. Beautiful. Thank you.
So yeah, really, I kind of did it for myself because, I didn't have time to do my breath work before, and I came a little bit late on this call. So I felt that I had to do it. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Pascal. It was lovely. You took me out of my bounce and spraying and grounded. And that is also phenomenal. And neither one is better. It just is. So thank you.
And I hope I didn't bring your dinner up.
No, that's great. Thanks.
It's not usually the breath work that I usually do. I do more intense breath work, but no, it's good to just calm yourself, right? Be center. So thank you for your feedback, Lynn.
Yeah, you brought in for me, to be fair, the contrast between the bounce and the spring, and how neither is better, but both are essential in their own right, in their own timing, in the right way. Because you really shifted my energy with that.
Okay.
Now I was planning on going for a run after this. Now I need to go for a sleep.
That's funny. As soon as you put in those running shoes, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I think also what's lovely also is the calming the nervous system and regulating that. So yeah, it's a beautiful state of being, So yeah. Love.
So Pascal, if I said that it didn't work, would that change how you would have done it?
No, I
Beautiful.
was just in the present time, and I'd say I was kind of I don't know, anxious, or I was just oh, I don't know if it's the right time, blah blah blah, right? That mind chatter, and I was just I want to breathe. So
yeah.
So yeah, I was glad that I can take you guys there. But if it works or it didn't, then it's out of my control.
That's right. Beautiful. That's where I was looking. I was testing your power. Yeah. I knew it was there. It was great. Great work. Thank you. It is it's focus. And two things. One is with the light that I see that I love with that is a real power white blue light. It's just my core light. It's my signature. And while while we were there was advice that I could help in a situation of someone around me. They came to my mind, and they came to from what you shared here of how I could share that with them to help them through their pain. So that is that was in the power of what you delivered in the space that you took for yourself. And then we all benefit. if we choose to, and you can never control that. So throw your best damn move and let them choose.
All right. Yeah, and I'd say like it was pretty much my first time. There's always room for improvement, right? But it's nice to have some feedback and
Right.
now like
That's right.
but you cannot be better than in the present time. Whatever comes
That's
up,
right.
it's what comes up. So
Mm.
I didn't have a script.
Mm. Oh, you didn't need
Right.
one.
No.
No, it was wonderful. Yeah, it's
I just feel like breath work bring me a lot of awareness. After that, like I'm feeling my body, I'm feeling my emotion, and like I'm feeling stronger, all that, right? Like this. And there's so many ways of breathing. It's just unbelievable. I'm just starting to learn from it. So
I agree, Pascal, because there's a lot of times people don't know how to breathe. They think they're breathing, but they're not. And when you get to aware of your breath, yeah, it's incredible. It is very, very powerful. And if you don't mind me saying, in my practice, what I give is breathing through the nose. The only time we breathe through the mouth is when we do that very first exercise that we open up and we release our head back, and then we let go of our breath, like with a sign like you gave us, So it's always through the nose, and then that one exercise that we just tilt our head back, and we go with the H sound, like that, and it lets all of it out. And then from there, these 28 positions and poses comes with only through the nose. And it's a 90-minute class in a 150-degree room. It's a very hot, sweaty room. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And if you don't breathe in that room, yes, it's in the bed. Sorry, my son it's in the bedroom. Just hang on. Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, if you do not breathe, yeah, then you're going to feel the pain. You won't be able to finish the class. You actually, and most times people want to breathe out of their mouth,
Yeah.
but that takes more oxygen. Just give me a second. I'm just going to help my son quickly with something.
Take your time.
Yeah, I'm back. Thanks. So yeah, breath work is, you're right. There's various styles of breath. There's box breath work. There's the one that I thoroughly enjoy to bring your mind into neutral, and also your stress is there's 2 inhale, very long first breaths, and then a very quick one after that, and then exhale out your mouth really slow, and you'll be surprised how quickly your nervous system regulates and gets calmer. Yeah, and even, that's when you're doing something of knowing that you got to either when you're feeling the anxiety or stress, or overwhelmness, you do that breath, and it immediately is the fastest way to regulate your nervous system to get it neutral. So I love breathing.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
It's a good thing. Otherwise, we'll be dead.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just when you breathe properly, it's easier to see people that don't breathe properly, right? And then people that are anxious, they breathe a lot from their chest and stuff, and it's amazing when you just change the way you breathe, how much calmer you become. It's just like we're not conscious of our breathing. And that's not the point. You shouldn't be like conscious of your breathing all the time, right? Because like what else are you going to be doing, right? So we try to be productive all day, but like the more you practice this, like the more like your body's like telling you like, okay, that's how you're supposed to breathe. Okay, yeah, I'll take that in my unconscious, right? So the more you're doing consciously, the more it will transfer to be unconscious, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it triggers me to think like what's happening, right? And all it is chemical reactions that are taking place in our body. And it's the breath, right, that helps slow that down, change it, and release different chemicals, different proteins, different processes for the cells. As we can continue, we can retrain the chemical releases in our bodies so that we're not reacting.
Yeah, exactly. You give a different instruction to your body and
Yes.
produce these chemicals, right? So
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So you can imagine if you're always reacting to everything out there as fear,
Mm. 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 Wow. Bye, darling. Oh, so good.
or in our power, in control, not reacting, because we can choose to react.
Oh, yes. Yes. So powerful, Jesse. That's so powerful. Beautiful.
So, but by being unattached to it, it can't control.
Oh, thank you. And that's it.
And then you can choose. We can choose from that. What do we want? How do we want to experience it? And then the cells kick in and deliver.
Hey, there's it.
All the time. What a beautiful body.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary.
yeah, and it reminds me like, what are you feeding your body? Right? It's not just through the food, like really what you're watching, who you're hanging out with, like the music you're listening, like all that, right?
Yeah, absolute.
That shape you. Right?
Absolute. Yeah.
So would you say to an anxious person that is always anxious to watch like anxious movies? Right? Like
it's very,
start with the foundation, right? So
yeah,
but I love that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're addicted to those feelings. That's why.
They're unconscious. Yeah.
Right? And unfortunately, these people are like, save me,
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you understand you're creating your own life,
Oh,
then
yes.
you're a lot more conscious about it. Let's put it that way.
Wow, it's good.
So Nikki, are you like a yoga instructor or?
What are people's thoughts around imagination, in the sense of, I'm going to direct it a bit more. So in order for us to experience in the physical, we got to experience it internally through the mind and body, and imagination being one of the most superior faculties that we have in the mind. And when you hear people say, oh, I can't visualize, I can't see, and then you hear things like, well, people create internally in a different way. More people are more visual, more people are more kinesthetic, auditory, different in their internal creation. So I was just wondering, from your experience, do you see imagination as purely visual and picture? And if that's not experience in the first step of creation, shall it be practiced?
Are you asking me the question, or are you just verbalizing this?
The group?
Oh, for the group. Oh, cool. I thought you were addressing me.
You are part of the group.
Yeah, but I thought you were addressing me. I just thought, because I don't know. I was just asking. I was curious. Yeah.
Pascal addressed you before my question, though.
Yeah. And I was saying, he asked me, and I was saying, absolutely, because.
Oh, we didn't hear you, Nikki. I think you were on mute.
Oh, I was on mute. Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah. No, I was just saying, absolutely. Yeah, this has been a beautiful environment that I've chosen, from a very young age, to seek out what kind of activities, exercise that I like. Yeah. So I basically always have done sort of a yoga, but also basically just in general, whatever, if I wanted to do weights, if I want to do, weight training. But the big one that I do and practice, teach, is a very special kind of yoga, because it's not just hot yoga. It's a big one. It's actually from head to toe. And it's for people that are not flexible. And people think they need to be flexible to do yoga. It's actually people that are not flexible. And it's a great self-discipline to be in a room for 90 minutes. And it's very, very humid and hot. And we do 28 poses, and each pose we do twice. And it works the whole body. I mean, the whole body. So from the spine right down to your knees, to your feet, yeah, to your head, to your shoulders, every part of your body. And
I'm guessing you're going to be flexible after that, though.
What's that?
I'm guessing you're going to be flexible after that. If you didn't go in.
Oh my God! Like in the class, yeah, in the class. I mean, it's not comfortable, hey? It's not comfortable, and I think what's beautiful, giving the awareness of saying to them that this is not comfortable. It's not. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. But this hurt is actually going to release all that needs to come out of, and in the end, they feel like so good. They feel so good, you know, and that's the reward of seeing that, because it takes self-discipline in this class. There's focus, you know, and determination, consistency, because it doesn't happen overnight. But then when you see people opening up their hips and they're opening up and finally breathing, because some of them hold their breath because it's so painful. And I said, don't forget to breathe. You've got to remind them constantly, breathe, breathe, breathe. Oh my goodness. But it's a wonderful practice, and I'm very grateful for it because it's taught me a lot, you know. Yeah, it teaches you a lot. So yes, I have done that for the last 10 years. And yeah, I think, yeah, just in general to educate yourself in what is good for your body is very important. Yeah. And I do agree. It's not just food. It's what you see, it's what you hear, it's what you read, it's who the environment, who you associate with, what energy you want to be with. And I like a healthy environment. You know, I like people that want to be healthy. And I don't expect you to choose it, but I go to places that I know that I'm going to have that experience. And in Bigwim, people come there, and they come there because they want to be there. You're not begging them. You're not choosing them. You're not, it's like they're there because they want to be there, and they know what is to prepare themselves for. So I really have a lot of respect for that, you know? Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. Like yesterday was a lot of fun. I had a back-to-back class, and it was just lovely. And it's just beautiful, you know, to see people wanting to choose themselves and choose their health. And yeah, it's nice. Everybody's, it's just got a smile on their face. Some don't, but in the end, they have a smile on their face when they leave. You know, that kind of thing. It's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. Good energy. I used to be a runner. I used to love running.
Yeah, I love. Nice. Yeah, I love, Nikki, that you elaborate on that. It's like at first when I asked a question and then you didn't answer, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not really the time, you know, to ask in a group. Maybe I should ask you like personally, you know, like. But yeah, I'm glad, like, hopefully it served the group, and yeah, no, thank you for your experience. And it looks like you really enjoy what you're doing, and that's beautiful to see. So
yeah, I actually got to say, one of my my students there, it was so sweet because I was in the class with them. And that means usually I don't do class with him. I give instructions because I got to keep my eyes open, you know. But this time I did it with them, and it was really special because this is somebody that's been with me in practice also for right from the beginning, and it's a personal friend of mine too. So her name's Jen. If you don't mind me mentioning her name, I'm sure she won't mind. And you know, it was so nice, because after she came to me, she said, you know, Nikki, after all these years, it looked, and I'm going to say her word, I don't know if it's appropriate, I'm just going to go with it because it's nothing personal, but she says it's almost like you're having like a release of orgasms, because it's so releasing so much. And when I use that word, I don't mean it in sexual. I mean, everybody's got this, you know, you use words that relate to anything of being in love, falling in love, orgasmic. It's all like, oh, it's got to be like, it's not. It's just about being in love with what you're doing, because love is the highest vibration. It is love. When you really love because you just love it, it shows. And that's why love is what Bruce Lipton talks about, taking the red pill, is because when you fall in love, you're alive, you got the energy, you feel that there's you're unstoppable, you can't wait to see that person again, you can't wait to have another encounter or whatever. And this is what I love. I absolutely love where I am in my life now, because I have always believed in that. I always believed in being in love with life, no matter what the circumstances, no matter what obstacles came, and to always believe. And so this is why I feel the journey of self-love, that I could also get to do what I love, and now still continue doing what I love. And even if it's taken me big shifts and time, because it has taken time, certain things of career changes, you know, and it's exciting because now it's becoming very, like I say, it's just life of experiencing the joy of it, you know, and yeah, so it doesn't matter how long you do it, if you can still stay in your heart and in love what you do. I mean, yeah. So it's lovely discovery, because it doesn't matter how late you found your voice, or how late you found your passion, or how late if you found the person that you want to spend your rest of your life with, or it doesn't matter how late. It's perfect timing. It's you are where you are because this is where you are. And I feel that when you're at that place, when Jesse talked about what happens if somebody doesn't like it or does like it, it doesn't really matter, because you're being true to yourself. You're being true to your own calling, your own intuition, and you're practicing what you love, because that's what you did. You just came with a practice of love and to share. And I think sharing is caring. And if you can use that and help somebody, this is what we're here for, you know, is to just be able to improve. Not that you need to improve, but there's always room for improvement. And I just think the satisfaction of being here now to embrace and just go for it, you know, not waiting for anything else than to say, am I ready? Do I know enough? Can I, you know, just go for it? And that's the unknowing part where it's risk taking, but it's adventurous, it's exciting. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity where I am now, you know, because I had to invest in myself. I had to believe in me when no one believed in me. And that's where, if I look back and I think, oh, thank God I invested in being certified in this work, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be certified. I wouldn't be here with you. So this is where it shifted my whole mindset. It shifted my whole life. And it's also giving me the confirmation of not giving up, in knowing that it's not where I started, but it's really gonna where I finish now. And so every day is just a day where I can be so comfortable, even sharing with somebody that knows to stand on their head as the shot, headstand or something, petrified. And her legs and everything was shaking. And just allowing to know that I know that feeling. I know how it feels that you're scared to fall. You know what I mean? And they're giving that assurance and standing by her. And I said, I'm right here. If you fall, what would really happen if you did fall? You have a whole room to fall. I mean, and when she dropped that in, I'm telling you, after like the second, third try, boom, she's standing on her head, shoulder, boom, up, straight. And that's the shift, the perspective. I thought, my goodness. Yeah. You follow me? Does this make sense? It's like that shift, that perspective. You have this notion of this one belief your whole life. Oh, what happens if I fall? Because two things that you really fear is loud noise and not to fall. Those are the two real fears that you were born with. The other fears are all being adopted through life. So this was a major breakthrough. But when I stood there and I gave her that assurance that I'm right here, and if you do fall, what will happen? Like really, what would happen? And she did fall. And I said, you see, get up, get back up. And she got back up. And I'm telling you, the third time round, it takes years for people to stand on their on a headstand. And she did it in a third. And so, yeah, this is what I love about teaching, and I also love about correct teaching, because we were taught incorrect. But people are waking up, and they are waking up, and they're very aware, and people do know like what is right and wrong with what they're receiving, and they are being able to question it. And I think that's the power of questions. Yeah, just thought I'll share that. I'm done.
I love that. I asked you because I was interested and not interesting.
Yeah, and that's
So
the thing. I heard that.
So I thought
And
that
that's
came
so
up with that
cool.
word.
Yeah, that was Jenny's word. And that is so powerful. And it's so powerful. And it's not, it's that common interest, If you really want to speak the love of language, the language of love, is to speak with somebody's passion and find out, what they love. Because everybody wants to be loved and appreciated, I mean, let's face that, right? So I'm not asking everybody to love yoga, because that's not the issue, but when somebody has a real genuine interest in saying, yeah, tell me, I'm really interested about it, it's wonderful. It's yeah, thank you. And you can see I'm passionate, because I started talking and I started going, okay, Nikki, stop, it's enough. I just stopped, because I can go on and on and on. But I did stop.
Yeah, you're just passionate a little.
I'm just passionate, just a little.
Just a little. I want to address the question of Lynn.
Yes.
That's a really interesting one, and I believe that we're so caught up that we think we have to see it to create it. And I would say I've got a lot of people like around me that they only feel things, they don't see things, and they're beautiful creators. So really, I really think like all your senses is part of creation. That's my take on it.
Thanks, Pascal. And it just came to me as Nikki was talking there, references some parallels, Nikki, from your work to what we do here. So very inspiring. Yeah, I was thinking if the ideas are clear, the visions may become clearer.
Just can you repeat that? I heard it, but I just want to hear it again.
Yeah, so it was coming to me as you were speaking, Nikki, that so your true choices, if the ideas around your true choices or your end results are clearer, then the vision
Yes.
may become clearer.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes. Yes.
And that, I suppose, coming back to the uniqueness of our individuality, nobody experiences it the same.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was good. Mm.
Yeah, and the other thing I would say, we think we have to see our creation just the way it is in real life, or like in the 3D, you would say.
Yeah.
But what about if it comes like in like a fractal or an image, or like not even an image, but just like a symbol or something like that, right? So, and I also think like the more I'd say like I decalcify my pineal gland, the clearer my image becomes.
Lovely, Pascal. Let's decalcify my pineal glands.
Pineal gland, baby. That's where the breath in our universe. That's where when we breathe into the universe, because it's part of our breath is in our body, but the pineal gland is actually the universe. That's where we get all the higher self awareness, knowledge,
Wisdom,
inspiration, wisdom, everything. It's so powerful. Yeah. 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 Wow, this is good. Wow, this is good. I love this. Yeah, very good. Very powerful. Very powerful.
Joe Dispenza does a meditation for the pineal gland. I've done it before. I may revisit it. Why not? It's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
What matters is your way, totally. In the right structure with focus. Okay, my peeps, thank you so much. I'm going to head off.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. And whatever the new beginning is, celebrate.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, hey?
Big love.
Big
Bye.
love, hey? Cheers, Lynn. Cheers.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Have a good rest of the day.
Oh, that's so good. I love this. Love this. Oh, wow. Yeah, so good. So good. Like, our conversations, I love conversations. I love relationships, but I love conversations. Nice, insightful, knowledgeable conversations, And this is what makes it so powerful.
Lynn, it was a powerful question for us to observe.
Oh, so powerful. Yeah,
how we create, what we do, what way for us so that we can help people find their way.
Yeah. And mention them to them like they're not broken, right? It's not because they don't see their vision that they're broken.
Right. That came to me earlier on, and now I'm going to say because you said broken. because I wanted to share earlier on, and it wasn't, I knew it wasn't the time, and now I thought I'd share quickly what it is. I was told, and I'm not saying in a negative version, I'm just saying what you get told, okay? You get told what's wrong with you. Now, I can remember back, and I'm just saying as a remembering thing. I can remember as long as I was, young as I was, even in my early adulthood, even now, not so now, but in my early adulthood, yeah, I would have people, very significant people come, and very people that I used to, put in my circle, that I value what they say, right? Because I don't weigh everybody's opinion. I accept it, and I say, okay, but when people that I have in my life, I weigh their words, I take a lot in consideration. And, growing up, or even having to hear, oh, what's wrong with you? And what's wrong with you? I mean, and as young as I can remember, I used to look and say, yeah, there's nothing wrong with me. You maybe think there's something wrong, but, there's constant feedback of what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And I think, whoa, I mean, I don't know about what you feel about that, but that used to be like something I feel that needs to literally go, because saying to children, even, you hear many people say, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And when I heard and I read the book, of course, with You Not Broken with Chris Duncan, I mean, honestly, when I came to really hear You Not Broken, it was an impact. I felt like, wow, that's the first time I'm hearing that, because I was told my whole life, you're broken. You're broken, you're literally broken. And it's a belief that you can take on, and you can go, yeah, but I always felt in my imagination and played out that no, I'm not broken. So I think that what saved me, my imagination, from a very young age. And I went into a fantasy, kind of imagination of Wonderland. I didn't know, but I just pretended that no, everything's, if it was my sports, or if it was my work, or my friends, or being invited to a party, no matter what it was, I had it all there played out. So, but I just wanted to know, like, that's very important, There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, what I would say, that, and you believed it,
Inside, unconsciously, I felt
right?
so shamed, Pascal, because it came out of a authoritative, like my parents, and it came from people that I really wanted to get their approval, especially my dad, get his approval. And, it was just something where, luckily, it wasn't as severe. I think I didn't have it as hard. I had it hard, but I can remember my third older sister had it much worse, because she went through her whole life hearing, you have rocks in your head. Can you imagine that? You have rocks in your head. And, and because he kept saying that to her, you got rocks in your head. And I mean, my God, like, she's the third child out of the five of us, the middle child. And she's only a year between my second elder sister. There's only a year apart, but the second one had more, like, she was a prefect, she was an A student, she was a golden child, let's put it like that. So everything used to be point to her, like, look at Debbie, look at Debbie, look at Debbie. Why are you not like Debbie? Be like Debbie, be like Debbie. And then one day I just stood up to him and I said, I'm not Yvette, I'm not Debbie, I'm not Mo, and I'm not Becky. I'm me, Nikki. and I don't need to be anybody else. It's me. Like, if you wanted another Debbie, then I don't know, do some other magic that you have. But right now, this is who I am. But when my sister got married, she got married to a high school teacher at the time. He was a science high school teacher, and I had a lot of respect for him because, you know, in the Navy, he was an officer. He was just a fine gentleman, fine person. I liked him a lot. We had nice conversations. And I don't have brothers, so I took him like a brother kind of thing, because my sister got married young, right? Got married at 22 or something. And anyway, first child, 24. I mean, another one, 26. But Michael, we have a conversation one day at his home, at their home, and he just mentioned it, you know, he just mentioned it. And I went, wow, really? That's wow. And he said, yeah, your father used to say, you know, Tamil, she's got rocks in her head, you know? And I looked at her and I actually like went, wow, sorry that, you know, and that really, really set her back in her life. And I honestly can tell you, I mean, she's had some really difficulties, you know, and yeah, I felt for that because, yeah, she always thought there was something wrong with her, and there was nothing wrong with her. You follow what I'm saying, you know? Yeah. But she grew up like that, and she felt like she was inferior. And today, you know, both children, you know, I'm just saying, like, she's very successful, you know, but she struggled growing up. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, what I would say is we trust people around us.
yeah, exactly, right?
Because we trust them with our
We
life,
gave them the power.
really, we give them the power.
It gave them the power. And that's what I love about the word power today, is that taking your power back, you know, that's whatever was told, you know, whatever was said, you're dealing with people that didn't know the system, or they're just following the system, or they're just following what generation from generation and pass it down, you know. Like my dad, I'm going to say it up straight. It's nothing, anything shameful, but, you know, he was beaten. So he thought beats is what it is, you know. Because he was beaten, then you get beaten, you know. And I mean, like I used to think, like he used to say, Lucky, you're not a boy. You know, you should be a boy. And I said, no, I'm actually a girl. So, you know, so we had to grow up like being boy, like be a boy, because he wanted a boy, of course, you know. But in the same time, he treated me like a boy. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I felt very like I had to be a boy, you know. I had to be a tomboy. I had to cut my hair short. I had to be very good in sports, you know, like excel in sports, you know, and to get some sort of improvement from him, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, that's why I say there's nothing, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, and the last thing I would say on that is, like, our entire life, we're going to always have people that disagree with us.
Yeah.
And it's a choice to either follow them and like what they're saying is true, or really, really look inside of us and be like, is it true? Or is it just something like it's an opinion of someone? Right? So at the end of the day, it's a choice. It's really a choice.
Absolutely. So, everything's a choice. Absolutely. I agree with you. And, you know, being called, like, you know, in many families, people are called black sheep of the family. You're the black sheep of the family. Yeah. Have you ever heard that statement? Like, you're the black sheep of the family. But the black sheep of the family is the one that's the rebel that stands out and questions. It doesn't follow the sheep that actually stands out and questions. And that's why you know, when you're in a family that you question that this is not right and blah blah blah, then you get like, just like the family that does, a family that's thieves, a house of thieves, but the one that doesn't steal is the one that is the problem, but it's not the problem, right? So when you question things, not everybody's going to like it, because that's when you have to answer the truth, because the truth has to come out. The truth will come out eventually. If it doesn't come out now, it's going to come out later. You can't deny the truth. So the family of thieves, it's something like the family of thieves, the one that does not steal is the one that's the akos, is the one that's the problem. And that's ridiculous. That's ludicrous. But when you don't know any better, then yeah, then you don't know any better. And to belong and to feel that, you know, especially when you're young and you want approval. I mean, that's the natural thing for a person to feel, you know, they did okay. They are okay.
So it's so interesting. Like our environment, right, shapes how we see it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like as it shapes it, it's like our environment. We don't see that it's shaping it.
Yes.
We don't see all the other choices. We just see what we keep seeing, and we keep seeing what we keep seeing, and that is what we create.
Yeah. And until you get a little older, and then I went into having relationships and with other people and friends, and I went, you know, one of my longtime boyfriends, I went to their house and I looked at it and went, oh, this is different. This is very different. You know, this is like really different. It's like, oh my God, it was night and day. And I thought, wow. And then he looked at me and he said, you know, this is what's normal, Nikki. This is normal, you know? And so, yeah, it's like get hit on the hammer every morning. You think that's normal, but it's not normal. It's not normal. But if you witness that every day of your life, then you actually, like Jesse says, you unconsciously get shaped. That later on, that is a program that you have to really let go. Well, understand, because you then eventually say, oh, this is a relationship that's too good to be true, because it's just like, because you're actually looking for the hammer. Then you're looking for some trouble, you're looking for some, you know, conflict or fight or something, because it's so embodied in you that it's just not comfortable. But when you get to know what is the real of what you want, and know that wasn't right, because there is abusive is not right. To be abused is not right in any form or shape. Put your hands on, verbalize, emotional abuse, silent treatment, you know, all of that abuse out. And but unfortunately, if you don't grow out of that, you go back into that cycle of thinking, oh, now it's familiar. And that's when you realize, oh, no, this is a pattern. I've got to break. So these patterns you just got to be aware of and say, no, this is not what I'm accepting anymore. Does that make sense? Like, does that make sense? Hello? Anyone there? Oh, okay.
I'm here, Nikki.
Oh, hi, Cinderella. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi, hi, hi. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. I'm going to welcome you in our group today. Lynn just left. It's Pascal and Jesse's here. And I don't know if you see in the chat box, we have all our words for the day. And we'd like to ask you what your word is for the day. Would you share?
When I came on, I was just receiving everything that you were sharing, and
Yeah.
it took me into recall the dream that I had like last night, and a question that I woke up with this morning.
Oh,
So
wow.
my word today, I'll rest with question.
Powerful.
Today is
Question.
Yeah, and it used to like surprise me with the synchronicity of like no matter when I come in with this group, it's like it just seems poignant to take me to a certain point. And day it took me, you know how sometimes you wake up and you have a dream and you wake up and then the dream is just like scattered or not really prevalent. But when you were speaking about that pattern of going back to that which is familiar, even though that structure was not a beneficial choice for you, but you don't know what to choose from if all you have is what you are experiencing. And as I'm allowing myself the opportunity to meet people and come from my heart, which was behind a brick wall. I mean, when I heard the term about 10 years ago about a heart wall, it was like, that's my diagnosis. I was living contained in a heart wall, and it was up for protection.
I hear that.
But as you were saying it, such liberation. When you were saying, that you just get used to it. It's like you just learn to tolerate what is in order to survive, without really striving in your surviving. You're just like behind that wall. Bear with me. I'm feeling
no. Take your time. It's okay.
So my dream came back to me. There were two very poignant parts of the dream, and they don't quite connect, but I see it. One was I saw my ex-husband putting on a suit jacket, which wasn't like freshly pressed, but it had a little, like, how you sit in a car and get wrinkles on stuff. It's like he took it, he shook it out, how you just snap it out, and then he put it on. But I never saw his face. His back was to me. So when you said about being used to certain behaviors from people and calling it normal, but it was really where were you? You were saying about the silent treatment. The silent treatment is such a manipulative tool that people, or this person, as I see it, use to really hide themselves. The silent treatment. So, and then it was like I went to speak to them, and they were always going somewhere else. Like, okay. Then there was shoot to another scene where it's like a bug or something had like a mosquito bite or something had bitten on my, and I don't know the specification of the leg is as important, but it was my, I'm feeling it was the lower calf of my right leg. Yeah, it was. And I saw it, and then I looked away from it. But when I looked at it again, it was like a big gaping hole. Like something had eaten away at my flesh. And I put peroxide on it, and everything foamed up white. And then that was like, all that I got in that vision of that dream. And I was like, so I did wake up, and I was like, wow, what was that? So question, universe, what are you teaching me? What are you showing me? And what are you growing me? And I woke up in great spirits. And so it felt like deliverance. It actually felt like deliverance.
Oh, wow. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Wow.
So those structures that it feels like another depth of structure.
Right.
That, it says, let me treat you in the safest, most gentle, constructive way. It's like a structure that could not be uprooted before. And it's like the bed of the river of desire has like exposed that and flowed over that. And I just feel birth,
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So
It is amazing. It's amazing.
Right now, my heart is like, it's still releasing that. It's like I've had a recode since I woke up.
Like a process. It's processing. Processing. You in processing. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I just love the fact that, when you get to, like you say, it's like a recode, because that's the feeling that your body wants to adopt. And that's what recode, not that you need to fix, it's not a fix, it's just that letting go and that resistance, but the process of allowing you to just chip away little by little, because your body can only take so much of what you've been holding on to, and it can be very overwhelming. That's why recoding every day is not a decision I decide to do, because it's too much. In the beginning, it was just like so new, and I was getting wobbly, and I realized that, so this is where it's beautiful, because you don't need to do a recode to have a recode. You follow? It's the questions that you ask yourself on a daily basis. And I got to say, it's so liberating, like you say. It's liberating, because I have been on the other side. And to come to where I am now, I was just saying, it's like an overwhelm of joy. It's a joy that you can express now with tears. It doesn't have to be tears of sadness or sorrow. It's actually joyful. It's like, and that is, it takes time to really be able to get to that place where you can receive that, Yeah. And it took me a long time to, as I was sharing, with love and self-love, and to having various boundaries in life. And, it's just beautiful, when you can get to that place where it is now finally a flow of acceptance of what you're choosing on a daily basis. It's beautiful. So thank you for that. It's gorgeous, as always. You always bring delicious to the table. It's
funny
easy
you
to
say
it's
delicious.
easy. It's easy to digest. Let me tell you, it's so easy. I don't even need to like this. I just sit back and enjoy the flavors because it's so delicious. Yeah, it's delicious. Thank you.
It's something when you can enjoy delicious.
Mm,
You don't have to be. It's not about being hungry.
yeah,
It's
that's
about
it.
savoring. You don't feel like you have
Mm,
to eat it all.
mm,
You don't feel like you're missing anything because
mm,
what you're experiencing is just,
mm.
it fills your internal plate,
Yeah,
without making you feeling stuffed. It's an experience.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
delicious
beautiful.
is the aromas as well,
Mm, mm,
the textures between your
mm,
fingers on your tongue. And delicious is the environment that you in, the music that you hear,
mm,
laughter,
mm,
you know,
It's just delicious. Yeah. Oh my
the
God. Yeah.
libation that complements it, the
Yeah.
tablecloth, the whole
Yeah.
setting. Even if you're eating
Yeah.
out of your hand, it's just
Yeah.
the deliciousness of
Just
the
deliciousness.
texture.
Oh God, that just brings presence to me. Presence,
Mhm.
like in this now present. Wow,
Mhm.
wow, that was beautiful. Wow, yeah, yeah, wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you.
Whew. Wow.
Good morning, Pascal and Jesse.
Mm. Now, Jesse, I think he said, in the chat box, he says in 25 after I will be driving and will stay on as transition to the top of the hour with you that chooses to stay. I know Pascal maybe be driving because he was very active in the beginning. He gave us a lovely meditation, breath meditation. That was beautiful. It's been recorded, so you can listen to it.
Oh, I will. That's nice.
Yeah, because it was lovely. He gave us breath work, and
Thank you, Jesse.
I think he's going to be on the road.
Yeah.
So I'm complete. I mean, I'm complete.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm kind of here.
Oh yeah,
I'm
there's
driving, but
Pascal. Yeah.
yeah.
I was just saying.
Good morning, Sindrel.
Good morning, Pascal.
What I would bring with feeding. I heard that the other day, and I was just like, I tried to kind of make sense out of it, but he was saying that heart feeds your soul, and mind feeds your spirit. And yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know if you guys have any take on that. But my first thing would be like, well, we need to differentiate what's like spirit and soul, right? So if you guys have anything on that, like, I would appreciate that.
Well, what I know is that thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body. And how you think and how you feel creates a state of being. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm digesting that.
Yeah.
Um, there's always this, definition. What's the soul and what's the spirit? And to me, spirit is the attitude that you choose to pursue in, to be in, and soul is the character,
Mm,
the
mm.
the character in which you're created.
Yeah, because the soul is the true you.
Yeah.
And the soul is the true you. And so knowing that we are, yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I like what you said about, I can't like recall it exactly as you said it. If you could repeat it about
I was just saying thoughts are the language of the brain,
right.
and feelings are the language of the body. And how we think and how we feel creates a state of being. So what you think and what you feel is a state of being. How are you going to? Yeah. You see, what I love, the fact that when I wake up, I realize, I thank you that I'm super conscious in a body. You see, I don't see myself as only a body, because I'm not a body anymore. I live in this body. It's a vehicle. But having to know that I'm pure conscious now, that I direct my focus on what I'm choosing now. I get to think what I want to think, to follow. And knowing that we are always in love is something that self-love, where I can now really know that I am allowing me to have that experience in this now moment. Because this was a practice where I had to first adopt. And now that I get to understand the love of God, of knowing his character, that's how it started for me in my journey, that I am love. This is who I am. It's not what I'm trying to project. No, I love. This is love. And lots of other people, opinions that want to dominate and overpower you because they felt fearful. I can say that's how you love, but that's not my love. That's not me. I'm love. This is who I am.
Yes.
And this was very powerful for me to have that foundation, to know that I'm love. And from listening to my heart, as I can say, from this time where I'm speaking, from the time I was born, I'm very grateful that I listened to my heart. I didn't know at the time I was listening to my heart, but now I do, because I have enough experience and I understand now. So I think that's when you know thyself, when you know your true soul urging of wanting us to be as we are, the light, you know. And I was saying early on, knowing that you're not broken, you're whole and complete. You just you just perfect as you are. God made you perfect, created you in the image of his likeness. And when you really embody that and you really acknowledge that, this is the image that you can really, live by, feel, experience. Because earlier in my life, it's all learning, right? I mean, I didn't really understand it much. And even when I got into magnetic minds, this was a whole new education. I thought, oh my God, this is like, I heard this, but now I'm hearing it for like the first time. I heard it because I know I'm spirit. I know I'm a creator, but it's in a different way of putting it. Yeah. That it puts it into words now. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. So it gives you a whole perspective of saying, oh, so now this is what it is. But it still has to drop into your soul. It has to renew your mind. It has to renew the mind to know where the mind goes, the man's going to follow. And so when you have this new information that literally can direct you in creating and literally making, focusing on what you want to create to make a better world. I mean, let's face that, right? Because it's not going to be fun if I just do it for myself. I want to do it for others, because this is what we love one another as I have loved you. I mean, it's just, this is what it is. It's service. It's just a matter of how you choose to serve, and there's all various ways to serve, right? But I just love the fact that we can be here and create from love, not from fear,
Right.
not from hate, not from judgment. Mm.
So, good morning, Cinderella.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Thank you. like as the question I was sitting in, it was like, which one came first?
Mm.
The thoughts or the feelings?
Oh, this is good.
Mm.
Oh my God, you just dropped a bombshell. I love this question. Like, honestly, like, boom. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, we get all caught up in our words, thinking like, oh, they
Mm.
started everything, but no, they came second. We used the words to explain, to justify, and make sense of what we were feeling.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for this. Mm. Oh, thank you for this. I feel it in my heart. Thank you. Gee whiskers. See, this is what's so beautiful. This is what's so beautiful. You can explain something and then somebody comes and in one sentence, this is when it's like, boom, one sentence can change everything. Like what you're just saying now, you know? Whoa. You can be speaking for an hour and then this one question comes and it's just boom. Like, are you kidding me? You could have saved us all this time, but okay. Okay, you were patient. This is epic.
But that's the fun, the journey of becoming and
Oh, I
acceptance.
love it, man. I love it.
And not doing it alone, not
Oh,
having to
I
do it
love it even
alone.
more. I love it even more. I'm sorry for shouting, but I am a little shouty now. But that's so true. Oh, you
Nikki,
got it.
you do not have to apologize.
Yeah, because you got to get excited about this, man. This is like boom. This is like boom. You get this. It's like, whoa. This is what, like the whoa factor. Can save you so much time. Mm. Oh my God. So good.
Shortcuts, shortcuts.
Shortcuts. Yeah. Gold nuggets. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Oh, man. Shortcuts. I know. I heard you say it so many times. Shortcuts. I even questioned it. What does that mean? Like, I know what shortcut mean, but how do you get shortcuts? You just dropped it down, dropped the mic. Now I understand what the shortcut is. And I've always admired that, hey, when somebody can just come and you can talk and talk and talk and they just come and, or you write them a letter, right? And then they just reply with maybe 2 lines and go, oh my God. Yeah, my sister's like that. My second elder sister, just by the way, she does that. And I used to admire that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, so good. So good. It's like they read your mind.
But what I'm feeling about shortcuts is
Yeah.
you can you really appreciate the shortcut if you didn't already take the journey of knowing where you wanted to go and then able to identify a shortcut?
Oh, this is good. Oh, this is gold. Yeah.
Because when I first began to be able to embrace, this consciousness more consistently, I would take those journeys, but I was taking a journey for the actualization of a realization. And then I found out, like, within me, it doesn't take 4 days of frustration to evaluation to get to the sensation. Now it's like, I know that sensation. I know how to get there. It's just like, because I identify with it. Now it doesn't take long to get there. It's just like, boom. Like I've already received completion of a recode in just like less than 10 minutes. But I value the exponential factors in the shortcut because I have also experienced the journey. But I don't devalue the benefit of the shortcut. I value it even more. Like I don't need the fullness of the experience because I got a shortcut.
Whoa.
So many people wanted that shortcut to get out of the experience.
Mm.
And it's what I heard you speak to, Sindrell, is you have to engage to find shortcuts. Otherwise, we're just thinking about it, yeah, and theorizing about it, and still have a feeling that keeps us from having it. And that is the conflict. That is our 3D internal conflict between our thoughts and our feelings when this soul, source, divine purpose is laid out in front of us to say this is the path.
Right.
Wow. So good.
And it's a skill too. It's not just knowing how to do something. It's the experience of being skilled up.
Whoa.
What skills? What would you say, like skills, if you were to put focus onto the skills?
It's having awarenesses that I got through experiences. Those awarenesses are actually like skill tools. Like I didn't, for years, I did not dwell in the knowingness. I didn't actualize my daily existence in the knowingness that I am genius, that I am love. But because I've come through some journeys, I know geniusness. I know superconsciousness. I know God in ways that I never knew God because of experiences. And in those experiences, being able to tap in like immediately is a skill. Like if I find myself in a circumstance that wobbles me, I don't have to stay in a wobble for 9 months. I can be aware of the wobble as it's occurring because I have a skill set now of knowingness, and I can choose my process that instead of being 9 months is like 9 minutes, and still taking the full breath of the whole journey and the benefit, because I know how to not just tap in, but be love. Forgiveness doesn't take a whole lot of justification. It's a choice.
That is a powerful skill. Another one I found is the skill of not judging.
Yes.
I'm writing in the comments. I'm writing in the comments.
I'll just give you a real example at my work because I've got to learn new routes, and then like I have like probably like 75 stops to learn,
Whoa,
like in the city,
God.
right? And it's all new to me, so I can either use the GPS the whole time and not really being conscious of where I'm going, or really learn it from the map. And so that's the shortcut, like using the GPS and not recognizing like buildings and whatnot, just following this GPS and be very conscious of this GPS, and then being unconscious, or being very conscious of where I'm going, and I might make mistake, but I'm in that full experience. And I guarantee you the next time I'll be like, oh, this is the building. Oh, I was supposed to turn this way instead than there. Right? So yeah, just a real life experience. So applying knowledge.
Yes.
Yes.
Applying knowledge. Yes. Mm, mm, mm,
Like
mm.
the skill, like I look at skill is our ability to focus.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And really like focus on what matters versus on all the reasons why we can't.
Mm. Yes. Oh my goodness.
You cut out a lot of, you cut through everything when you do that.
Yes. Yes. Shortcuts. Yeah. That's what shortcut means too.
I was reading a book and it came back to me. Reading a book many years ago, and it was talking about the guy was he tunes the pianos for all the performers. He's
Oh,
known for this.
wow. Yes, yes,
And
yes.
it'll take him 8 hours to tune like an old grand piano, right? Like the old one. Like this guy gets into it, right? And 8 hours to do this. And what he found was that when he was not focused on the outcome, it would take him 8 hours. And when he just focused and got in having a tuned organ, he cut it down to 6.
Wow. Yeah.
And he says it was all about just focusing on the end result and being there with the instruments.
Mm.
And it was just a fascinating way to say, like, oh, like what it is that we love, we just entangle, engage, and embrace.
So powerful. One of my trainers back in the day, a couple of years back, I was doing weight training, and he looked at me and he said, Nikki, focus. And that was the very first time I heard the word focus, in that way. And I said, what do you mean? He says, focus what muscle you're working on. Like literally focus on what muscle you're working on. And I just focused on the muscle. And it was, a shortcut for me, because the results that I could have got in 6 months, I got it in 3 months. Because that's what I was, my target. That's what I was going for. Mm.
I've been working with my son, and like his habit that he works with now is that, yes, he'll train for 4 hours a day, but then every night he runs through his routines as well. And he's always running through his routines mentally. And it's like, so as you run through them, feel all the transitions, feel where your body's got to be.
Beautiful.
And they say that if you were to work out for 4 hours, you get a 60%. They got like it measured as a 60% productivity, and people that mentally work it out.
Oh, come on, Jesse. This is it. Yes.
Mentally work it out for, let's say, 30 minutes is a 30% increase. It's 50% as effective as working out.
Oh my God, I'm so grateful you bringing this up. This is it. You know, if you don't, I'm just going to say very quickly, in yoga, in our practice, there's a lot of us that can't do the practice for the 90 minutes. And literally, as it's known scientifically, if they just show up and be on the mat and lay down and do nothing, then just mentally go through the steps of these poses. Literally, they are doing it as the person's doing it physically.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
You could charge for that.
I do. I'm
Beautiful.
not shy.
Exactly.
I'm not shy. But it's true, right? It's like amazing when you I had to. Yeah, it's very good. So true.
It is what our competitors are doing.
Hey, come on now, man! Oh God, this is yes.
And if they're not your competitor.
Oh yes. Well, your son's
See,
got
so
an
many-
excellent coach.
So many people want to pay attention to the 95% of their competitors, and it's only the 5% that matter.
This is what I needed to hear today. Wow.
Always find what's useful and drop the rest.
Jeez. Yeah. So good. So good.
Delicious.
Delicious. I wanted to say that, but I thought, oh, I'll wait for you to say it, Cinderella. Like, this is delicious. And I haven't even eaten yet today. So trust me, my meal is going to go down really well now. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, it's so it's so cool. So cool.
So are we feeding the spirit, or are we feeding the soul, or both? I think we're doing both, right?
I think, because we are spirit, we are spirit living in a body. I mean, this is it. And the soul is the remembering of who you were, who you've always been, as coming into pure creation, Yeah. And it's just coming back to home to you.
Yeah, I as the question was asked, I felt like it was the soul is the plate and the spirit is the experience of the deliciousness.
Yeah. And without a body, we won't be able to experience this. This is why it's so important, all three, body, mind, and soul.
That's how I separate them, and thinking with the self-conscious, unconscious, and superconscious. Those are the threes that how I work with them.
Yes.
And name them how you want, how you do it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Well, guys, I am at my location.
Me too. I'm also.
So I really enjoyed today. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you. Thank you, Pascal, for your magnificent meditation. And
thank you.
Cinderella, thank you. You like my Cinderella. Cinderella with the golden slipper, I tell you.
You are the only one in my entirety that I resonate with being Cinderella.
So true. I like, and it brings me much joy. So thank you. Many blessings. Love you guys. Love you, ladies, guys.
Love you too.
Cheers,
You guys have a good day.
Bye. You too.
Bye, all. Thank you.
Bye, Jesse.
Bye, Nikki, Centrell, Pascal. Have a great day.
Thank you.